Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being back. We are back to doing career space sessions bi-weekly. So if you didn't see us last Thursday, it's because we were taking a break and then we're back this Thursday. And today we are going to have an interesting conversation with with Rwanda Finance. That is hosting an initiative called the Rwanda Finance, the Kigali International Financial Center. That was a setup. But as always, I want to welcome you, every one of you who's here, people who are tuning in from YouTube, thank you very much. People who are tuning in from LinkedIn, Facebook, thank you so always for following us. Now, I'll bring up my colleague, Norbert. Norbert, welcome back.
Hello again. Welcome back. It's good to have you guys back. It's been 2 weeks since we were last here. I remember last session, we just did a recap. Today, as Lydia said, we're hosting Kigali International Finance, which is an initiative from Rwanda Finance. And I saw Lydia there just, stumbling upon getting it mixed up there. Just for you to know, if you don't want to get it mixed up, they have quite a funky nickname, which is KFC. So it stands for Kigali International Finance. So don't allow yourself to be like Lydia there and just Rwanda Finance. But Rwanda Finance is a private company, and KFC is Kigali International Finance is the initiative under Rwanda Finance. So without further ado,
I think before we butcher everything, let's welcome our guest to come and clear up the air. Please welcome Anita. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lydia and Norbert, for hosting us. And and just to correct you, it's not KFC. KFC is the chicken thing, huh?
So what's the kitchen,
right? Yeah. So for us,
I always hear people referring to it as KFC. So maybe let's clear that up.
No, you missed a letter. It's KIFC, the Kigali International Financial Center, not KFC.
Exactly. When you include the I, it excludes the chicken.
I'm still hungry. Sorry about that.
You butchered it, but yes. Yes. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting us. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to really taking part in this discussion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Anita. Please, if we can begin by you telling us about yourself and what you do at Rwanda Finance, that would be really good.
Thank you, Lydia. My name is Anita Mutesi. I am the Capacity Building Program Manager at Rwanda Finance Limited. Rwanda Finance is a private company owned by government, and we are mandated to make sure Rwanda or Kigali becomes a financial hub. So not to empty some of your questions briefly, that's it. Rwanda Finance is under the Ministry of, like I said, it's a government-owned company. It's under the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. So private company, but owned by government, yes. With a mandate of ensuring the initiative Kigali International Financial Center is thriving and it's up and running.
Yeah. As always, we always grateful to our audience that is always tuning in. And at any point, if you have a question, raise it. We won't tell you to hold it up to the end. And this conversation mainly is going to focus on, as much as the KFC is being introduced here in Rwanda, and Rwanda is positioning itself as a hub. As a financial hub, we're also looking at the skill sets. So what skills are needed, what careers can be developed around this, around this center, around this hub to make it thrive. So I think you told, Anita, you told us a little bit about the Kigali International Financial Center. No, but would you have a question for Anita to take on?
Thank you very much, Lydia. I think also just as we go, please also just to the great audience that is always tuning in, please also just write to us, let us know where you're joining from, give us any questions that you may have. We're streaming live from LinkedIn, from YouTube, from Facebook. So feel free to just write to us, let us know where you're joining from, and we'll just carry on with that. So Anita, again, thank you for joining us today. And I just wanted to ask, what is the current ecosystem of Kigali International Finance? Maybe, and what makes it the best? What does that ecosystem make it the best that it can possibly be?
Thank you, no, but just to start, I think I mentioned a little bit about Rwanda Finance. Well, Rwanda Finance, like I said, is a private company owned by government, and we are mandated to make sure Rwanda or Kigali becomes a financial hub. That's the Kigali International Financial Center. So just before I answer your question, I would like to speak a little bit about KIFC because people really confuse it, like you guys are calling it KFC. Let me just say a little bit about Kigali International Financial Center, which is the KFC. So it's an initiative that will transform Rwanda into an international financial destination or a financial hub. So, like the key pillar of Rwanda's Vision 2050, in 2035, we want to become a middle income country. So, in 2050, a high income economy. So, for us to really get to be a high income economy, there's certain things we need to do. Like, for example, if we have if we make Kigali a financial hub, it will be very easy for us to attain that in 2050. So really, we want it to be an alternative center for African-based investments. So I would just usually people confuse Rwanda Finance with RDB. So like how RDB has the initiative Visit Rwanda, and it's implementing that. So Rwanda
Yeah.
Finance has the initiative Kigali International Financial Center, just to make it clear. So I think that's a little bit just to introduce that. So to your question, Norbert, so the ecosystem we work work with, is, this initiative is not only for Rwanda Finance. I mean, it's an ecosystem. It's not only us working towards this. So we have regulators like BNR, that's the National Bank of Rwanda, Capital Markets Authority, Rwanda Stock Exchange, the Financial Intelligence Center, and the Ministry of Finance, like our line ministry. And then for investment promotion, we have Rwanda Finance and RDB. So we also in our ecosystem, we have the investors, that's corporates, all these investors we're trying to attract to come to KFC. And then with that, we cannot work without the industry. That's the banks. Really, the industry, mainly we're looking at the financial sector services, so banks, capital markets, insurance, funds, and pensions. Then also professional services like the lawyers, auditors, fintech companies that really provide some of these professional services that come along with it. Now, you say, I think, Norbert, in your question, I think you asked what makes us different, right? What makes us different?
What makes the financial center the best?
The best, like really, I think that would be for me to address that. I'd be looking at what's our value proposition. How do we market it? How do we tell people, instead of going here, come to Kigali? So we look at it in three different areas. Really, compliance. The first one is compliance and transparency. When you look at Africa, we're the second in Africa when it comes to corruption perception index. So our corruption is quite low, so it's easy to work with us. And then we are third in Africa when it comes to economic freedom tax. In other words, how do we comply with things like OECD, AML, anti-money laundering? We're very good at that. So it's an area where we're good at compliance and transparency. So it's safer for you to bring your investment into Rwanda to work through the Kigali International Financial Center. And then secondly, when you look at Pan-African connectivity, I mean, we have Rwanda that goes almost to 27 capitals in Africa. And that's for investments to come through here. It's easy in terms of connectivity. How do you get to other markets? Through Rwanda, and then mobility, visa regime. Really, we are members of the Commonwealth. I know you know that. We're members of the Francophonie. So anyone coming to Rwanda through who is from the Francophonie, from the Commonwealth, does not need a visa. You get a visa. You don't pay for your visa. You get a visa on entry. So that makes it easy for travelers, for anyone coming through. And then we're also bilingual. It's very easy for you to get someone who speaks both French and English in Rwanda. You either have English or French. I mean, when it comes to languages, it will not be difficult. And then ease of operations. You're from RDB, you know this better than I do. We're second in Africa when it comes to ease of doing big business, really. So that's also an area where we sell for us to be a better option for investment destination. Yeah.
Very,
Thank you so
very
much.
interesting. Lydia, to
Yeah,
follow.
that's really interesting. I already feel like I want to, come through with my investment, with my investment. But we do have a question from Eugenie. Is this conversation recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and you can view this conversation either from wherever you're tuning in, either be it on LinkedIn. You can, look at this conversation later. And you can also check it out on the Skills Rwanda YouTube channel. Conversation is fully recorded, so you can view it later. And thank you for everyone who's following. We have Dukunda from Poland. Please send our greetings to all the Rwandan community that is in Poland. We love them very much, and we would love to see some, finance experts join the Kigali International Financial Center, and some investors, bringing up their investments. Now, speaking about that, we want to know we know of different conversations, different centers that are available in Rwanda. No, actually, not in Rwanda. In Rwanda, it's only Kigali International Financial Center.
Well,
Absolutely. So, but I mean, like in Africa and different regions. Anita, if you can tell us some of these centers and how does, KIFC compare to these centers that are available? And I think we need to bring up like what actually like as a continuation of what makes KIFC better. How does it compare to other centers?
okay. Thank you, Lydia. When let's focus now on, we have many international financial centers around the world,
Yeah.
and I mean, Asia has Tokyo. It has quite many. Singapore. When you look at Europe, there are many. When you look at North America, it's quite a number. So let's now focus. I think it's very important we focus on Africa, because we're trying to promote Pan-African investments. So for Africa, we have 7. Now, which ones are those 7? So we have Casablanca, which is towards the north. We have Cape Town, Johannesburg. We have another upcoming Nigeria. And then we also have Nairobi. So looking at that, where's Kigali? Kigali is so around Kigali. Then there's also Mauritius, which is quite a little bit out of Africa, but we assume, we imagine it's Africa, really.
We
Yeah.
So
consider,
when we
yeah.
Greetings to our people from Mauritius.
when you look at that, looking at Cape Town and Johannesburg, their own market, like their local market, is enough for them. They don't have to, go looking elsewhere. When you look at Casablanca, which is in Morocco, that side is enough. Now look around Central Africa, Eastern Africa, Western Africa. Really, it's either Nairobi, Nigeria, or Rwanda. So Nairobi, again, the market is quite, like, we cannot compare with Nairobi. Nigeria, the market is huge. Now, if you look at these international financial centers, among them, only 2 focus on cross-border transactions. And that's what we're pushing for. That's what we're selling. That's what we're marketing. How do you become an investor through KIFC and reach other markets? So the only ones that focus on cross-border trade transactions is Rwanda and Mauritius. Because of their smallness, I mean, our our own economy cannot satisfy the center if we put it up. So we need to reach out we need to bring investors in, but for them to be able to access other markets. So that's the first, that's how we compare it to other centers. For us, our focus is on cross-border transactions. The others really are serving their own markets. For us, it's cross-border. It's our markets and also cross-border. Like you reach other markets through us, through the Kigali International Financial Center. So if I could quote, I think 2 weeks ago, there was an article in Citizen, a Citizen magazine. I think it's a Tanzanian magazine. And they were talking, like the title of that article was "Private Wealth in Africa is set for $798 billion, but it's jumping to $3 trillion. And smaller and better organized economies in Africa are fast turning into wealth hubs, home to more countries of $1 billion millionaires. So in other words, like wealth is now looking at keeping their money. Before, I mean, rich Africans would take their money maybe to out of Africa, to keep their money out of Africa. But now there's this option, and it's been clear, like studies have shown, like this article is really telling us. And in this article, they clearly state that, the small, better organized economies are Rwanda and Mauritius. So that's the difference for us. Like we are smaller, we are better organized. So it's home. It's attracting more wealth to come now, to be kept within Africa and within these international financial centers, which includes ours.
And as a follow-up question there, Anita, I would like to know, so if I'm bringing in my investment and I haven't maybe made sure that I invest in Rwanda, can I still bring my investment as I branch off, maybe going to Kenya, maybe Tanzania, and not necessarily like register business in Rwanda, but just bring in my income or my capital, and then it spreads over?
Definitely. We want you to keep your money here. We want you to keep your operations here, and then you can go reach out other markets, but while we keep that here. So yes to your question. You know how they usually say, I usually give this example, like there's a saying in Kinyarwanda. They say, I'll say it in English because of our audience. They say, I don't know, God spends the whole day elsewhere and comes to sleep in Rwanda. So we want you to come and sleep in Rwanda.
Okay, that's really good. And we do have a question from the audience. I don't know, but have you seen the question?
Yes, thank you. So this question is from Jean Paul, and he's just asking, what is critical success of KIFC other than international financial centers? What is the forecasted improvements towards the Rwandan financial sector?
I think that
I think we were going to get it onto it, but Anita, feel free to go ahead and discuss about the success.
Really, the success right now is that we are operational. We have been operational for the last 2 years. So the biggest success, we are now operational, and investor can come and structure their investments through KFC, because we have policies in place. We have policy frameworks that have been put in place when it comes to tax, regulations, laws, and also really building a skill set that is ready to serve the center, to serve these investors as they come in. So briefly, I could say that, but I believe throughout the conversation, I'll be able to answer some of these questions even better.
So greetings to people from London, Nairobi, DC. Welcome to the conversation. You found us halfway through it, but we are happy that you're here and that you've joined. So when we talk about calling up investors to come and join, who are your targeted investors or actors? Because
Sorry, Lydia,
Yes.
there's just something I just wanted to note on that last point, that our dear Anita just shared with us, about, especially in regards to cross-border trade. I think it's actually now it makes quite a lot of sense that why we would stand out in that sense, because I mean, if you remember, Rwanda is a very small country, and if you have your business set up here, you can easily access all the region, the East African region, easily. I mean, it's a flight to Nairobi is what an hour and a half. Flight to Kampala is about 45 minutes. Driving to the border of Congo is just less than 2 hours. So in terms of cross-border trade, we are the central of Africa, so we're really well positioned in that sense. And so that's why now it even makes more sense why we focus on that key aspect. So thank you very much, Anita. Yeah, we could just go on there, Lydia.
To bring you back in the conversation, we want to know who, because there are different kinds of investments, and I believe that you also have some priority investments that you're looking at, that you're targeting. What are some of the investors or the actors, examples of people, or the caliber of people or investments that you're trying to attract to the financial center?
Thank you, Lydia. Really, like I'd said before, cross-border investors who are setting up companies such as funds, holding companies, trusts, for example, estate planning, foundations. Foundation will talk about charitable activities, private equity, venture capital, really alternative holding companies. So when you look at it, it's more into finance, but also quite like when you talk about funds. Yes, there's funds, there's trusts. How do we attract foundations to come to Rwanda? How do we attract holding companies? So those are our target companies, really.
Okay. So the investors or people who are looking to invest, I guess, in the audience, if those are the kind of the areas of interest, you know where to look. And so, Norbert, what would you say in additional to what Anita said?
Yeah, I think she covered it quite well there. I think I don't really have from that point. I don't have anything else to cover. Maybe also just looking at angel investors. I know Rwanda is also starting to become an entrepreneurship hub, especially the region. So maybe just a quick question: how do you facilitate the different investors? So from angel to venture to private equity, do you have a different strategy for one, or is it just all for one, basically?
So there's to really benefit from KFC incentives, there's an investment code that has been reenacted. So if you register through KFC, you just register and get an investment certificate through our Rwanda Development Board. So the law there are certain incentives that are within that law. For example, you are allowed to bring a certain number of foreign talent in Rwanda. You don't. It's you employ around 30% of your staff should be Rwandan. The rest can be wherever you're bringing them in from. So yes, there's that investment law that really allows you to benefit from investing in Rwanda through KFC. And then also we have KFC club membership. Like this, if you're coming in as a KFC, you can be a KFC member, or you can just register your investment through RDB and then go through KFC, or you can be a club member. This is an added value benefit on tax and value added benefits. Promoting one of the things we do when you're a member, we are promoting you, we are traveling with you, connecting you to opportunities, connecting you to markets that we go to. For example, if we have a roadshow in Congo, we could go with you and really promote your investment there. And then also, then, however, you have to apply and you pay a certain amount to be a club, to be a member of, like for you to have membership for KFC. So there's not everyone qualifies. For you to qualify, you have to be setting up a holding company through KFC, and then anybody already existing in the financial sector can be a member, can qualify to apply for that. I mean, all service providers in the financial sector. That includes lawyers, auditors. Remember the professional services I talked about earlier, and then
Yeah.
also the PSF members are eligible. The PSF, Private Sector Federation for Rwanda, are eligible to apply. So not everyone can apply, but you can invest through KFC, or you can be a member. When you're a member of the KFC, there are certain incentives that come with it. But also when you're an investor who has registered maybe through RDB, and you're not necessarily a KFC member, there's the investment code that has different incentives that you can benefit. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Yeah.
So you can start from
get
RDB and
applications
come
from?
to KFC.
Sorry?
Where can aspiring members get applications from? Is there a link on the
Rwanda
website?
Finance.
Do they have to
Yes.
approach you
Yes.
physically?
You can go to the website, or even physical. You can come to our offices and we'll guide you through.
Okay.
Super.
But we work with people, we work with investors who have registered through. We don't register investments. Like we're not doing RDB. You register through RDB, get the certificate of investment, then
Yeah.
we guide you through. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can come from RDB invest.
If you want to become a KFC member, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we do have a couple of questions from the audience, and we want to we'll get on the well. Usually our audience takes priority over what we have. So let's look at someone's question here, which is quite really long. But I'll go to his question is on climate finance. As a nation, we're positioning ourselves to invest a lot in climate action as well as reduce on its vulnerability. The government has had a big punch on it through REMA, RDB, RAB, the rest. I would really want to know KFC's plan and strategy on this. Are we expecting a lot of climate finance initiatives? And also on the opportunities that young professionals in the field of environments, I think can utilize or can build on. So Anita, take it
Can
up.
you
Anything?
Can you put
Yes.
up the question again, please?
Sure. So the question is really asking about if there is any strategy on climate action. Are we attracting any investments that are green investments or investments that are looking at the climate at mitigating the climate change and challenges that we are facing?
Yes, thank you, James, for your question. That's a very, very important question. Yes, we are pushing for climate sustainable finance, and I think earlier I had said Mauritius and Rwanda do a focus on cross-border transactions, but we also have a niche, like, who are we attracting mainly? Like, who do we focus our attraction on? So, green sustainable finance is also an area so we have three niches for Kigali International Finance. Yes, we are attracting investors, but we are really our priority today would be in green sustainable finance, impact investment, women-focused investments, and fintech. So these are areas, these are our niches. So for your question, yes, our niche today is we are looking out for investments that are in climate finance, investments that are in green finance, green sustainable finance. Yes. So as we pitch, we really pitch towards impact investments, women focused investments, fintech, and sustainable finance. So I think what you're talking about on climate falls under sustainable finance. So yes, when you talk about skills, I think I'll talk a lot about this in the
Yes.
next. Yes, skills
Yes.
is big. It's quite big. So we are pushing for professionals to really. What is it that when you look at our focus areas? I mean, green finance. How do we encourage young people now to think about professional, like having certificates in some of these areas. Because as these investors come in, if we are attracting sustainable finance to come into Rwanda, we need to have professionals who are ready. So
Yeah.
when we share this, it's like a wake-up call. You need to have skills in these areas. So yes, this is also as we create awareness around KFC, we're also creating awareness around the skills that we need, the skill set that
Yeah.
we need.
And Anita, I think while we're bringing up the question of skills, some people, when they hear finance, it's like, accounting, it's like banking, it's like, those are that's what comes to mind. But, given that Kigali Financial Center is something new, and it's quite a diverse niche, what skills are needed for this center to really be a success? Because at the heart of any institution, human capital is really key. So, what skills do we really need so that our young people in the audience know what courses to take or what certifications they can get?
So thank you, Lydia, for that question. I think it's kind of connected to what James was asking, right? So
Yes.
I want to talk about it in terms of, I don't want to say skills, I want to say professionals that come along an international financial center. What kind of professionals do we need? So in 2019, we did a study, and we found out for a financial center to thrive, it needs certain professionals, right? So
Yes.
we need, when you look at the different targeted investors we're talking to, funds, trusts, we need investment and fund managers. We need security analysts. We need legal tax advisors. We need treasury management managers. We need credit professionals. We need lawyers. We need auditors. We need even human resource managers. We need, like, it's quite across, but to be specific to the financial sector services, the investment managers, the fund managers, legal advisors, tax advisors, these are professional. I'm not saying we don't have them, but those we have currently are not enough. So how
Yes.
do we make sure we push that number? We have a pool. So,
Yeah.
and for any financial sector services today, if you're not a chartered accountant, if you're not a chartered financial analyst, you don't sell that much on the job market. And that's where we're lacking today in Rwanda.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
enough certified professionals. So what we're pushing for is really for people to have CFAs, like to be chartered financial analysts, to be chartered
Yes.
accountants, to remember when I talked about the 30%, as the investors come in, they need to employ 30% Rwandans. Even on their boards, their directors, they need to have a Rwandan.
Yes.
So did you know that even directors need to be certified? Like, we need that as well. We need
Yeah.
so it's we
So
want now to
in
create
in in,
awareness.
in brief, what I want to know is that, getting your bachelor's degree in finance is not enough. You need to be certified.
It's
Right?
it's good.
Eh,
It's good,
it's
yes,
good.
but it's not good
Yeah.
enough. Yes, for you to be very marketable on the job market when it comes to
Yeah.
financial
And be
center,
like
when it
on
comes
an
to financial
international scale as well.
Yes, yes. So, and today we have many professional courses that have come on board, and
Yes.
employers, investors are looking for certified professionals. So we want Rwandans to be ready to serve these. We are attracting investors; they are really coming in. We have a
Yes.
couple that have joined through KFC, but the challenge is Rwandans are not ready when it comes to skill set. So how
Yeah.
do we get ourselves to that level? The only way we can get ourselves to that level is through trainings. There's or CPD. Like the lawyers. The lawyers, even if you become a lawyer and you have the degree or you've passed the bar, you need to
Yeah.
always have credit. Like they keep increasing you need to do a training for you to move up, like to have that credit, to have that credit. So
Absolutely. It's continuous learning.
CPD, yes. So that's what we are
Yes.
pushing for even other professionals that we need to serve the center. How do you continuously reskill? How do you continuously, you need to think about reskilling. You need to continuously think about continuous professional development. You need to think about having some of these certified, be chartered. I usually give this example, but I think people are getting tired of it, but it's true. For like in Rwanda, we only have, I think, certified financial analysts. We have 4 in the whole country. So you can see if we're attracting investors and we have 4.
Yeah.
Now we need a pool. We need people to really take on some of these professional courses. Yes. So
So actually, it's very good that you actually mentioned that. I remember reading somewhere last year that there was a CFA examination center going to be started in Rwanda, in Kigali.
yes.
What's the update on that? What is how
Yeah,
do
thank you,
we?
Norbert.
Where is it going to be based? So one thing is an examination center, but how do they register and that whole thing and study for that? Maybe just can we elaborate on that?
I think before we had people, even up to now, we have people who are doing CFA doing it online. They do it online, and then when they're ready to do the exam, they have to go to Nairobi or Dubai. So on top of the tuition for the CFA itself, they have to look for tickets. They had to look for, accommodation, how to stay in these countries as you go to do your exams. But as of this year, an examination center has been opened in Awuka. Awuka is the Adventist University. The African Awuka, it's the Adventist University next to RDB, I think. Yes. So that has qualified to be an examination center. So now CFAs, people who are doing CFA, professionals who are doing CFA, do not necessarily have to go to Nairobi or Dubai to sit for an exam. You register and do your exam in Kigali. So that's like a cost down. And we also have upcoming private companies who are training, offer tuition for some of these professional courses like CFA. We have Finacle that provides some of these trainings. So people don't necessarily have to do online. You can do a face-to-face and then also sit an exam in Rwanda. For you to go to Dubai or Nairobi, it will be by choice. It will be a choice you've chosen. But there's the option of Rwanda, which is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So as Rwandan professionals, you now know where the gap is, and it's time, I think, to step up and get your certifications. And if you think you have these skills, what we've done is that, since Rwanda Finance is out looking for you, on our YouTube channel, in the description, we've added a link. So in that link, you can share your CV. Wherever you are, you can share your CV with Rwanda Finance, and you could be considered for an opportunity. Or if you would like to invest as well, so it's under in the description for the Skills Rwanda YouTube channel. And so upskilling is always a good thing, and being a lifelong learner, that's ultimately, it not only stops you from aging, but you're updated every now and again. So we've talked about the certifications that are needed. Go get your CFA, go get your CPA. These are all courses that you can take as you do your job, so that you can upgrade yourself to be better. So we do have a couple of questions from the audience. Let me not take all my time. Let's see what. Okay, here is a question from Jean Paul. Why the issue of income slash profit repatriation continues to rise for foreign investments carried out in Rwanda? What do KFC expects to work on this issue?
Thank you, Jean Paul. I think this if you go to our website, there are a couple of laws We are supposed to enact 25 laws. So far, we've enacted 18 in the last 2 years, and some of these questions are best addressed in some of these laws. The reason why we are enacting them is to provide to have provision of profit repatriation. I mean, they address some of these problems that we've had for a long time. So if you look at the laws that have been enacted, they address this. So and these are one of the incentives we push for as investors are coming in. We want it to be easy for profit repatriation, but also at the same time not putting Rwanda in a loss, but also
Yeah.
making it easy for them to repatriate some of their profits. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be an issue now that we have been that there are some laws that have been enacted, and they address some of these issues. So if you want to access the laws that have been enacted, please feel free to go to our website. The laws are there, and you can read
Yeah.
through and see.
Yeah. And this may be my personal opinion. I think yes, there needs to be a balance between people how they take back the profits, but I also think like as Rwanda we can do better to make sure that when people are investing here, they have all the ways they can spend that money here. That's the best way that we can benefit. If business is going good, if you have multiple ways that people can spend their money here, I mean, you can't leave them with a few less to take back home. So Ban says this is a great discussion. Kudos and Kwesi asked about what about fintech companies. Now, I do think, Anita,
I think I
fintechs
mentioned it.
belong to what you guys are looking at.
Yeah, fintech is one of our niches. We're also trying to attract fintech companies. I think I mentioned that earlier when I spoke about our niches, about the the sustainable finance, women focused investments, and also fintech. So yes, even fintech is an area our investors we're targeting fintech companies, but also encouraging Rwandans to really reskill and have skills around development. Yes.
Sorry,
Now, more
Anita. I know you said there's like incentives for certain investments, so like fintech startups. How can somebody get a document highlighting these incentives? Is it on the website? Do they have to come to KIC personally?
No, it's on the website. You can look out for the investment code on the website that has been enacted. It has listed that. Yes.
Okay, great. What exactly is the difference between KFC from RDB in terms of services? At RDB, we register investments and we encourage investments to come in, but Anita will tell the difference.
Yes. Yes, RDB is more of it focuses on investments within Rwanda. Like you come, you invest in Rwanda.
Yes.
You invest in Rwanda in specific, they give you different projects, like there are different projects, either tourism, there's something in energy,
Yeah.
in hospitality, there's different projects. Now KFC, it's investments through Rwanda. And our focus really is on financial sector services. So you invest, you can come and do your operations here, but reach out other markets. We want you to choose Rwanda as your you domicile your investments here, but reach other markets. Now, as opposed to RDB, you invest in Rwanda. They don't want to hear
You're going
you
to
go to.
Kenya or
But
Tanzania.
yes, but KFC, you invest through Rwanda. We hope you get to other markets through Rwanda. You keep it here, but go to other markets through Rwanda. So yes, I think that's the difference.
Okay. And then Mark wants to know are there any incentives for foreign investors that wish to be members of KIFC?
Yes, there are investments. There are incentives for foreign investors that wish to be members of KFC. like I said, on the website there's the investment code that has been enacted. So yes, you can go there.
Maybe,
There are all these things. Yes.
yeah, maybe Anita, if you can, mention like one or two of the incentives.
Yes. So, for example, an investor coming through KFC, you're allowed to have you can you're allowed to bring in foreign, because like I said, we lack skill set that are able to
So is that just my network, or have we lost? Did we just lose Anita? Lydia,
I
can you
think
hear?
we lost it. Yeah, I can hear you. Anita, can you
so
hear us? I think we lost you for a minute, Anita.
yeah.
Can you repeat that? Yeah.
Yeah, you were just talking about the skill set section. Like as a foreign investor, you're allowed to bring in your own. We lost you there about.
Uh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I hear you now, crystal clear.
Some of like you're allowed to bring in you're allowed to bring in your staff, like stuff from wherever you're coming from. The point is for you to employ 30% of Rwandan as your staff, but for you bring in your staff, so that's one of the incentives. And then there are percentages of tax on these incentives. So it's you can read on the investment code. It's on our website that clearly sets out the incentives for the foreign investors.
Yes. Okay. What and what's KFC strategy for startups? Or you only focus on macro investors?
We don't have a strategy yet for startups. For now, we are really attracting macro investors.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Um, then, what plan does KFC have regarding venture capital investment?
Well, it's all. I think I'd explained it at the for the KFC incentives. You don't have to go through to register. You just need a certificate, and the law automatically allows you to get the benefits of through the KFC code. So it's for
Absolutely.
all investors. Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's been a wonderful conversation. For people who've just joined us, we are discussing about the initiative that is being handled by Rwanda Finance, that's positioning Rwanda as a Kigali International Financial Center, a safe place for you for you to make sure that your investment is safe, your funds are safe, and everything is in line. Norbert?
Yes, again, this is another question from Jean Paul, and he's just asking, what plan does KIFC have regarding venture capitalists and investments? How do you facilitate that?
Yeah, I think we covered this one,
We
right?
did cover it, but
Yeah.
maybe just
I
in a
wanted
nutshell,
to,
quickly,
yeah,
for just Jean Paul there.
as we maybe as we wrap up the conversation here, Anita, what has been the success of KFC? What are some of the investors you've attracted? What has been the success, even in terms of skills? Have you got some good ones, or even in terms of your investment?
Yes, I think the biggest success for now would say we are now operational. An investor can come and structure their investment through KFC because we have launched policy frameworks in place, tax regulations, laws, and we are trying to build our skill set, and we're working towards building an ecosystem that has professionals that have the skills that they are looking for. And I'd say out of 25 laws, we've enacted 18 in the last 2 years, and so far we have 45 investors on board. So in the last 2 years, we have 45 investors on board. Yes.
That's really good. That's really good. Thank you so much, Anita. I would like to hear any additional comments that you may have for us as we wrap up this conversation. What will be maybe two final remarks from you?
So really, we are looking to create a community. Thank you again. Thank you for the time, and for us really to showcase what we're looking for when it comes to skills for the KIFC, when it comes to professionals. So we're looking to create a community and a network of like-minded professionals. So if you're working in the fund management in areas that I've mentioned, in investment structuring, in international legal experts, wealth management, please, we'd like to connect with you. You can reach out on us. It's skills at Rwanda Finance. Maybe you can write that in the chat box. Skills at RFL. I think, let me write that. Skills at RFL. Just to reach out, or even fill the form on. I think there's something you shared.
Yes, we did share the form on our YouTube description. So if you do have, if you want to be part of the database, Anita, you said that is skills at
rfl.rw.
okay.
You can always reach out. And just to add, for the time we don't have, I wouldn't say we don't have. Our professionals are not up to the level that we want them to be. We are creating awareness with the Rwandan diaspora. I saw you have people from Poland listening in. You have people from Washington listening in. So if you have a skill set that we are looking for, if you're a professional in the financial sector services, this is the time for you to come back and contribute. Come back and be part of this journey that we have started.
Absolutely.
I mean, remember, the investors come in, they're obliged to employ Rwandans. So please, you can register with us, and we can always share your CVs with potential employers, and come back, because we know out there in all these countries we have Rwandans who have this skill set that we're lacking. So, and also foreign talent attraction. We're doing a lot of foreign talent attraction, not only for Rwandans in the diaspora, but also for foreigners who are comfortable to come to Rwanda. We have very many incentives for foreigners, so please feel comfortable to also reach out and join our community.
Yes, I think Emmanuel did us a favor and shared the Google Doc. Thank you very much. This has been a wonderful conversation and a lovely one. We are very honored to host you, Anita, and thank you very much for this wonderful information. Now, for all our finance professionals and people who've taken finance, this would be my advice. If you have, let's say, even if you're in banking or you're still in school and you're wondering what's going to be your next journey, check out all these professional courses that you can take to be a certified professional. This would really go a long way to help your career. And keep updating yourself, upskilling yourself is something that we really encourage everyone to get onto and learn. And all, RDB and Rwanda Finance, they're doing all they can to attract all these great investors, and they're looking for skills. And you, as a Rwandan, you need to position yourself to be found. I know we may even have those professionals, but they're not we don't see you anywhere. You're not on LinkedIn. No one has your CV. Please stop hiding. Just get in, be part of this transformational journey. And for all our people in the diaspora, we really need your skill sets. We are happy to, host you again back in the motherland. But even if you're not, even if you're not willing yet to move, get in touch and know maybe you could even work remotely. These days, everything is possible. So just if you're willing to share your skill set where it's lacking, please, check out the Skills Rwanda YouTube channel. In the description, we have the link. And all these sessions are always recorded, so you can watch them at your convenient time. No, but your last words, as we thank our very, very wonderful audience for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lydia. Just before I give my last comments, I just want to first take this opportunity to thank you very much, Anita. It's always, we've worked well together on different projects, different interventions, and it's always just a pleasure to have you here. I think you were clear, concise, and straight to the point. You answered every question that was given to you, and I think now we get more of an understanding of what Kigali International Finance Center actually does, and also a bit about Rwanda Finance. I think we started around 2020, just into the pandemic, and we've seen, I mean, you just mentioned about 45 investments already coming in when it was a tough time for business just in general. So that's, we hope to see more, and we trust that we will see more. And then again, also to our great audience joining from all over the world, some from Ghana, some from Egypt, Poland, a lot of you from Kigali. We just want to thank you again, and we're happy to have you here. Every 2 weeks we'll be back, and let us know what you would like us to cover next, or in the next few the next few series of the podcast of this podcast. Now, my last comment maybe is just highlight basically what was covered here. And for me, there's two things that really stood out. One is on the investment side, cross-border investments, cross-border trade. If you're looking into that, we're going into a globalization era. Digitalization is key. So it's making investments more easy. If you're looking for cross-border trade, cross-border investments within the East African region, Kigali is your place. Again, just to focus on what Anita covered earlier on, was that Mauritius and Kigali are the only financial centers in Africa that focus on cross-border trade. So talk to us, reach out to us, and we will facilitate you with that. The second thing is the skills development side. With those skills, you heard that we are lacking a lot of those skills. So please find a way to upskill yourself, find out what the skills are required, and who knows, you could bump up your salary because you just have upskilled yourself in that sense. And this is just the last thing is just, when you look at town, wherever you are, we're the land of 1,000 hills. So if you're in Gisozi if you're in Gachuriro and you look at town, you see all these skyscrapers coming up, you see all these fancy buildings coming up. And really, this is the heart of the finance center. This is the CBD. And when you just look at the development that's going on there, you get to understand why now there's even initiatives like Kigali International Finance. And I think that's just one way to actually just physically view it and see that Rwanda actually works. And we're on our way to become a high-income nation by 2050. And this is why Kigali International Finance is here. And so thank you very much for just creating that awareness for us, Anita, and also just being very informative on that. I think from that side, Anita and Lydia, it's been a great pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this is it. We are at the end of the session. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. And thank you very much for your contribution. Your questions were very insightful. I hope they were very much answered. And if you're not content, look for Anita on LinkedIn and tap her and say, I need an answer to that question. But it's been lovely. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.